I run a company that does projects for clients. Every project we do is funded by clients. And just to give you the whole context of what we do at IRIS, we are in Paris, France, and our team is, we have 3 people working full-time in the remote viewing field for clients. We also give courses, but our main business is to do consultancy services for clients. And we work, our team of viewers and analysts and translators, transcribers, etc. We have like about 15 people working in this company part-time. Okay. So I'm going to tell you what we do to make remote viewing profitable for our company, for remote viewing companies, and for the clients. Because remote viewing takes time, projects take time. And like for any emerging technology, you have to have tools to enhance the performance of what you do. You know. And the factors you can work on are, of course, quantity and quality. Quantity in remote viewing, that means that you want more data in less time. And when it comes with quality, what you want is to improve the accuracy of the data and increase the exploitability for the client. So for whom do we want to enhance performance? For researchers, of course. For instructors and students when you give courses. And for consulting, for both sides of the job, you need to enhance performance for the providers, that means the remote viewing teams, and also for the clients. To lower the cost, for example, to lower the delays. So what I'm going to present you during the 5 next minutes are a few projects that we've done from 2007 to now. This is our first project for a paying client. This is called the Atahualpa project, and this project was done in 2007 for professional treasure hunters and archaeologists in Latin America. So you can see the project manager on the client sides on the upper left of the screen, and you can see the same guy in the forest. And our task was for these people to help them to locate more precisely where the entrances of a cave are. This cave should have inside it the mummy of the last Inca, and also the treasure of the Inca. On the upper right of the picture, you can see on the field what the area looks like, and this is an example of one of our sketches we made for these people during our remote viewing project. So this is treasure hunting. We had 3 viewers for these people on this project, and our sessions in 2007 lasted 1 hour each session. What we produced are 380 items, and the total production time was at that time 17 man days for this project, and the analysis task alone took 11 man days. The clients took the data and went to the field, and after coming back to France, they said, okay, this is an A+ project, because this helped them to start locating more closer the entrances. These people in 2011 have to go back there one more time. They've been on this project for 10 years now. zoom in. Okay, this is another example of one of our projects. This was 1 year later. That means in 2008, late 2008, early 2009. This project was the first, at least in France and Europe, and maybe the world, I don't know exactly, but the first project ever fully funded by the Justice Department. I don't know how you say that in English, but in France. So everything was fully official. We got funded by the government, and we got an appointment from a judge. And Iris today is a professional witness, and we work for a police department. So far, we've done 4 projects for police department, but for this project, it was for a Supreme Court in France, of course, and it was about a criminal case. Our task was to give more information, more data to the police about the victims. We work blind. Okay, every time we work blind. This is remote viewing. And all I knew as a project manager is that what the police wanted were more data about the victim. The viewers, of course, as Courtney Brown said, the viewers never know what the target is. They don't have the question. Okay? They don't have the task. So on this project, we had 5 viewers, and the session were 1 hour long, and we produced 2,200 items. So we got really high in the production of the data compared to 2007. And the total production time on this project was 24 man days, and the analysis task was 13 man days. Client evaluation A. 6 months, about 4 or 5, 6 months ago, I'm moving forward in time. We did a real estate project for an individual, a private client. And for this project, we had 3 stages, 3 phases, because we wanted to zoom in for different aspects of the target of the task. So as we were producing more and more data each year. We found that it was more interesting for us and the client when it comes to the profitability, that we could lower, reduce the duration of the session. So now we work with 45-minute sessions. In that project, we produced 1,770 items, and the total production time went to 10 man days for the project, and for the analysis, we had 5.5 man days of workload. And so far, the client evaluation is B+. We are still waiting for more evaluation because on this project, the target is located in time in 2013. Here's another example of project. Our task was to describe the future logo of a company. Okay. This is like a creative or innovation project. On this project, because the task is quite easy, we had a viewer, and the session is very short. In 30 minutes, we can do the job. And we produce 145 items. Total production time, 1 day. That means 8 hours. Analysis task, 4 hours. Client evaluation, A+. So how do we do this? How do we get more and more data in less and less time? First, professionalization. It's like in any kind of work, any kind of job. What you need is to train your people. And of course, as any standard normal company, you need to have offices to get clients to come to you and talk and do the project. So in Paris, we have an office of 70 square meters. Industrialization, that means you need to standardize your process. and developed production tools. That means developed software. Here's a quick view of the production process of a remote viewing project for clients. As you can see, the remote viewing sessions by themselves are only a little part of the work. The biggest amount of workload is done during the analysis task. It's about 60%. So our software is called iCAT, and as for any analysis, consensus analysis, you have 3 different steps. The breakdown, when you define the items, when you take the transcripts and you break down the items, the raw data. The second step is when you assess categories and subcategories, you set up a matrix when you want to store, you want to sort and the data. So you assign data to categories, you sort, and then you cross-reference. It's a consensus protocol, like what Stephen Schwartz used to do with the Mobius group in the 70s and 80s. So this is a screenshot of our software, piece of software. You can see that in this project you have 4 viewers, and you have the transcript here. Each color comes with a category. You have the items. Here a screenshot for the step 2. You have the matrix, categories of the matrix for the categories, and you have the items which are associated with this category. And this is another screenshot when you can see when you have, for example, you have a consensus, you have another consensus here, you cross-check the items. Oops. Okay. So here are some statistics about the work. So we started in 2007, and now we are in June 2011. So during that time, we divided by 4.6 the workload for the analysis by per viewer. Okay. For any block, for any lot of 100 data, we divided the workload by 16.7. And for the total workload on the project for 100 items, we divided the workload, the time, by 14.2. What we had when it comes with the production of items, the production of remote viewing data, is that we found out that the years going by, we produce more and more data per viewer hour. That means that for an hour session, we were producing more and more data. This means that the remote viewing system, the whole system of the whole system set up by the remote viewing team, reacts to the evolution of computing tools. At each session, we got more and more and more data during the 4 last years, even if the viewers were not conscious of what we were doing about developing a piece of software for the analysis. So the whole system, the whole team reacts to the evolution of the software. So this is just for you to see, to have a quick look on how many projects we've done so far. And this is because we have this piece of software helping us to do the analysis. We started in 2007 with 1 project, and so far this year, in 5 months, we did 12 projects for clients, paying customers. Okay, so this is about the quantity. What about the quality? The accuracy of information of the data. We had a small raise from 2007 to 2010, and now we have a high stabilization since then. And what about the value for money? Excellent since 2010. That's what the customers tell us. Conclusion, remote viewing, what we have found out, and that's our daily job, is a profitable human technology with great value at low cost and quick turnaround. It's profitable for the provider and for the clients, so that means it is accessible to most. Today, for each project we do, we earn money and we give valuable data to our clients who use them. Thank you.
Are your viewers blind to the total nature of the project?
Yes, they are.
Also, how many targets per project?
Oh, okay. There is one target, but the target can be quite, it's like in the target we can have several questions, okay? And these questions can be quite different. It depends on the project. When the task is too complex, or when the client wants a huge amount of data dealing with different aspects of a target, then we do a project which has several phases.
So if a viewer works multiple sessions, is that viewer?
One viewer does a session per project.
One viewer, one session, one project.
When we have, let's say, a project with 3 viewers, each viewer does a single session, a 45-minute session or a 30-minute session.
I understand. Thank you.
And each session, every session, for example, every session is independent from the others. Okay. We work blind.
Thank you very much. Brings back some memories. We had wrestled with this a lot and how to prioritize data, figure of merits and stuff like that. I don't want to get into that here. Maybe you and I should talk later. But I do have a general question that we ran into in using multiple viewers on one task. Sooner or later, you have to prioritize. There's some data that will ultimately be better than others. Who actually identifies that? Do you dump everything over to the client, or do you do any prioritizing before you even give it to the client?
The whole, what we call the analysis process. Okay? We have 1 or 2 analysts which work on the whole amount of data, and we process the data to make sure that we give the clients the best view to this data. And we cross-reference everything, and we write everything in proper French, for example, so that the clients can understand more easily what we do. And we show the clients in a report, fully detailed report, what we think are good data, intuitive data, or AOLs, for example. I don't know if I am answering your question here.
I really like what you're doing. The one thing I would question is whether or not you can really attribute your improving results to the software, because so much of getting a good rating from your client has to do with the project manager and how good a job you do figuring out which remote viewer to assign what task, what particular question. So there's a lot of different factors involved, as you would know.
Sure, yeah. This is just an example.
I'm just saying that the software may be an irrelevant factor
No, it's not.
to your success.
But
You're telling us that, but I'm saying it seems to me, from my experience with remote viewing, there's a lot of other subtle factors that
Yeah.
could be influencing your success rates besides just the software, one of which is your project manager, how good you are at tasking the right question to the right
Yeah,
viewer.
sure. Yeah, but every step of the project is important, but where you can, when you can improve very highly, when you can the most improve the process is when you want to industrialize the analysis task, because analysis takes a very long time. So that's when you want to start. But at each step of the project, we did something here, something there, to improve the whole system, the whole process.
Okay, I was going to ask the same question, but I'm going to ask a continued question. That have you thought about doing Bayesian backwards inference to your dependent variables? So you haven't. Well, let's talk about that later.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Alexis.